My dear friends, welcome back to BSpice. In this session, we are going to handle a new topic, friends. This is about the nuclear power plant. One of our BSpice member has requested some, inputs on this nuclear power plant. So, I always respect our, members. So that is why I thought of, uploading this. Of course, this is going to be uploaded in sequence of videos. So in this session, I'm going to talk about focus on more on the question and answer. But the subsequent session will cover the basic component of a nuclear power plant, the working principle, the types of nuclear power plant, and the safety in nuclear power plant, and the site selection where we should install this nuclear power plant, and also the countries involved in nuclear power plant, and finally the advantages and disadvantages in detail. So before that, so this session is more of a question and answer related to this, a nuclear power plant. As you can see here, the reactor, and you have a turbine, and the generator is coupled to the turbine, and this part is transmitted to the grid using the transmission line, and you have the cooling mechanism. All these we are going to dive deep later session. So this session allow me to only focus on the question and answer, so that to give a outline. Okay, right. So question 1, what is a nuclear power plant? So the nuclear power plant is a facility that uses a nuclear reaction to generate electricity. This is the facility that uses nuclear reaction inside the reactor to generate electricity. As simple as that. Everybody knows. So it typically uses uranium or plutonium as fuel to produce heat, which is then used to generate steam and drive turbine connected to the generator. You got it, friends? So this typically uses uranium or plutonium. So that's about the nuclear power plant. Then question number 2. How does nuclear power plant work? Nuclear power plant works, it generates electricity, okay, by using a nuclear fission to heat water into steam. That's the thing, okay. So the fission and all I'll highlight in the next, subsequent video. So nuclear power plant generate electricity by using a nuclear fission to heat the water into steam, and the steam drives the turbine connected to the generator producing electricity. So this is how it works actually. I hope this is also clear. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah. Question number 3. What is nuclear fission? Yeah. So the nuclear fission is the process of splitting the nucleus of a heavy atom. As I said earlier, uranium or plutonium. In this case, uranium-235 into smaller nuclei. So when we split this, heavy atom into a smaller nuclei, it releases a large amount of energy in the form of heat. That's it. Okay, friends. So that heat is used to heat the water, and that steam is used to drive the turbine. That's it. Okay. Now, question 4. What fuel is used in nuclear power plants? So nuclear power plant, yes, it used primarily uranium-235 or plutonium-239 as a fuel. These material undergo fission reactions here produce the heat. Right. So then question 5. What is the main byproduct of nuclear power plant? Yes. So the main byproduct of nuclear power plant, of course, the main is power, right? So we are talking about the byproduct is radioactive waste, including the spent fuel, which requires very handling and storage. Otherwise, it will cause a lot of radiation actually. Even, of course, I didn't handle this project directly. I work for a substation automation project inside the nuclear facility in Tamil Nadu, in Kalpakkam basically. So that's why, when we cross over that, the reactor, we always, it talks about this, you will also feel that radiation effect actually. Even the people, the people, the workers who is involved in this reactor, they also, come on rotation actually for a stipulated period, 2 months, then another, the next batch. So because that will avoid the labors to get into the radiation exposure. Okay, that's about different thing. Now, question 6. How safe are nuclear power plants? Yes, nuclear power plants are designed with multiple safety system, protect against accident, all this. However, the risk of accidents such as radiation release, which I just now talked, right, still exists, as even evidenced by events like Chernobyl and Fukushima disasters. This is very important actually. Then question number 7. What are the advantages of nuclear power? Yes, nuclear power produces large amount of energy, no doubt, with low carbon emission. That's the advantage. So we are talking about, low carbon emission, all these, right? So it's suitable for significant source of clean energy, no doubt. It also offers energy security and stability. Okay, friends, right? Then question number 8. What are the disadvantages of nuclear power? The main disadvantages include the risk of accident, high cost of the building, and the maintaining the plant, the challenge of managing the radioactive waste. That is the biggest challenge. Okay, right. Now, question number 9. How does the nuclear power plant last? Yes, nuclear power plant typically have a lifespan of 40 to 60 years, though they can be extended with upgrades and safety improvements. Then question number 10. What is nuclear waste? We are talking about, right, disposal, all this. Yes. What is that? Nuclear waste refers to the spent fuel here, right? And other materials that remain radioactive after the fission process. So it must be carefully stored for thousands of years. Okay, that is the nuclear waste. Then question number 11. Can nuclear power plant cause pollution? Nuclear power plants do not produce air pollution or greenhouse gases during operation, but the waste can pose environmental risk if not properly managed. So that is the point. Okay. Then question number 12. Where are the nuclear power plants located? Yes, it's around all over the world with notable countries, United States, France, Russia, China, and Japan, of course, in India also. Right. Question number 13. What happens in a nuclear meltdown? Yes, a nuclear meltdown occurs when the reactor core, this guy, becomes overheated, potentially causing a breach in the containment structure, everything, the containment structure, right? Releasing the radiation into the environment. Just imagine, it's a disaster. It will be a disaster. Then question number 14. What is the role of reactor coolant? Okay, so the reactor coolant transfers the heat from the nuclear reaction to the steam generator, okay, ensuring the reactor operates safely and efficiently. Okay, that's it. Then we have a question number 15, the final one. How much energy does a nuclear power plant produce? A typical nuclear power plant produces between 1000 to 1500 megawatts of electricity, which can supply power to millions of homes. So that's all I have, friends. So next session, I'll talk about the basic components of nuclear power plant, and I'll talk about the working principle also. Then you will get to know all these things. Thank you for the support. Take care. See you and stay tuned for the other videos. Take care. Bye-bye.